NXT. Well, I have a title for my video, but I haven't written it down yet. You probably already see it. But I'm going to say it for the end of the show and everything else I'm going to talk about. But I want to say this. We got a lot going on in NXT. Is it all good? Some of it is all right. Some of it is half-baked, and some of it's not even there yet. And I'm sure many people say, dude, there's story. No. There is no story yet. The beginnings of stories, yes. No development yet. And, make this very clear, we haven't even gotten out of April yet. No, wait, not March, April. May. Sorry. May. Nearly 30 people have been released. Kata-chan, we don't even know if she's coming back. She's supposed to be taking a break. That's at least what's been reported. Because there's some reason, either it's business, either family, or either mental health, or maybe her significant other, even though she's not married. As far as I know, she's not married. She's gone. She's not there now. Speculation of her leaving because of pay cuts, which we know they're doing now, 50% cut across the board. As far as it's known, a 50% cut. But that wasn't the reason she left. It was because of something else. But we don't even know she's going to come back once she takes care of whatever she's doing. So, the stories we currently have are in the beginnings. But we have no idea if they're going to stay. Everyone that's been shown right now, we don't know if they're going to stay. They may look like they're going to stay. We don't know if they're going to stay. So as far as I'm concerned, there is no stories yet. At least until after July, hopefully we won't have any more people leaving the company. Because we don't know how many people from NXT is going to be gone. We have no idea what's going to happen with Evolve. We have no idea what's going to happen to SmackDown or Raw. We don't know yet. There might be more people going. So until we know, we have no stories. We got the beginnings of some, the possibility for something. So let's move on. First match I'm going to talk about. Naraku versus Lidica, the guy who is from Lucha House Party. And I believe he was called Tiger. I forgot his name. It's been so long. Dorado used to be from Lucha House Party. I remember him that much. And it's been a long time since I've seen him. I don't remember his full name. When he was in Lucha House Party, it's been a while. You're going to tell me, of course. But I don't remember because, legitimately, he's been gone for many, many years. He's been on TNA TV. Yes, he was on Impact. He was. And he even went over to AEW at one point as well. But I hadn't seen him in a while. So now, he's supposed to be in AAA. Okay, fine. He got his ass handed to him by Naraku. If I'm pronouncing the guy's name. Naraku. If you're going to do it in Japanese, Naraku. If I'm doing it right. Probably not. Let me give it to you like this. Did he look good? Yeah. Like any new wrestler that just been brought in at their debut, and they got to win, they bring in a jobber, and he jobs that jobber's ass off. Which he did. He looked great doing it. Here's the thing. They're going by his reputation. I don't care. I'm making this clear. He's held 3 New Japan titles and the New Japan Pro Strong title. I don't give 2 shits about them. I don't. That doesn't mean I'm being disrespectful to him. And if you see this and you say, dude, the guy had 3 titles from New Japan and was also New Japan Pro Strong, from what I understand, champion as well at one point. That might be one of the 3. It doesn't matter. Look what happened to 3 women who had 3 distinctive runs internationally. Stephanie Vakir, Julia, and one who's currently on that roster with him, Zarya. 2 out of those 3 women, what are they doing now? Tell me. They've gotten titles. Do they feel relevant? No. They were supposed to be given relevancy here in NXT. They didn't get it. They just went by their reputation and didn't build their storylines except for Zarya working with Soruka. And I will be talking about Zarya in a minute. You'll see it. But I'm telling you right now, when it comes to Nadaku, he looks great. But it counts on how they book him. If they keep going back to New Japan and how great he was there, and he was great there over and over and over and over again, forget it. That means they're not trying to build him a real character. They're just going to treat him like every Japanese wrestler that's ever been brought into WWE, even during Vince's time. Jimmy Yang. Remember what happened to the Buzzsaw. What's going on to Akira Tozawa? How many Japanese wrestlers that were brought in that were treated like shit? Look at Shinsuke Nakamura. Look at him. Every one of them were brought in because of the reputation, and they were barely given real story. Barely. This guy looks great. He's got a great look and a great stick, but it counts on how they book that stick, disregarding what he went through before to make it work. That's the truth. Moving on. Let's go through the 6-man tag. Wilder, EK, and Legacy versus Birthright. Let me give it to you like this. Am I feeling Wilder? Oh. Wilder feels really empty. Now, EK and Legacy, they've been there for a while, of course, and they have built up at least some. Legacy is the most over amongst those three. EK still feels like a Devon Evans. He needs to differentiate himself than Devon. But he does look good. But he's still an early Devon Evans with no one to develop. He needs an Ethan Page. And now you look at Wilder, where they had the story of Wilder being so out of control, want to go wild, want to just get that adrenaline rush. Didn't we have someone who went through that before? I don't even think about Eddie. And you know who I'm talking about. Mr. Wolfman. No. I'm just, when you see him, and I'm like, he just feels blank. He feels like generic, very overused high flyer that they're trying to make arrogant that it would mean something. But don't you already have most of the people like that that's in Vanity Project? The only thing they got is Lockwood that really differentiates them now. That's what they got, Lockwood. Lockwood is making Vanity Project different. But when you look at Wilder, he feels like he needs something. And honestly, I don't see anybody that can help him with that. Going up against a Keanu Carver, he's going to get his ass handed to him. And it's going to happen a lot. Now, let's move on to... What do I really want to say about this? I don't really know what I want to say about the next match when it came to... I don't know what I want to say. I don't even know if that match really needed to happen with Nolan Dar, and when it came to Drake. I don't know if that really was going to be helpful to Dar, even though he did lose, and it makes Drake look better. But then it doesn't make him look better. Drake was the Evolved Champion. But does he feel special? The only thing he's got is Lockwood as his woman. That's it. He's not like he's Triple H when it came to China. Yeah, China was like this. And China, I want to make this very clear. I don't hate Lockwood. And it's not because of all this here. And it's not because she don't have this or this. It's not that. She's just not China. Vanity Project feels like a watered down version of DX. In a sense, before DX happened, when you had pretty much China, you had Triple H, and you had HBK all working together before they fully formed DX. It's like an early version of them. And with Lockwood there, that at least gives them something different. You got a woman who's possibly as strong as China was when she was doing it. But one, she's not as good looking as China. Let's make it clear. And this is not meant to be a knock against Lockwood. I don't care. I don't care if Lockwood is a woman. I don't care if she used to be a man to be a woman. I don't care. It's about how they book her. I don't care. The question right now, she feels like a watered down version of China. And they got to give us something more for Lockwood than just being a watered down version of China. And that Drake is supposed to be Triple H, and that's his squeeze now. The only thing he hasn't done was try to grab her ass or smack her butt to make it interesting. And that's Drake. Of course, they're not going to go there because they wouldn't dare go there. The one that's going to do that is going to be Lockwood smacking his ass. That's what they're going to do because they don't want to offend anybody. But let's make this very clear. They need more. And Nolan Dar just really feels... he feels like they're just doing this for a little bit and they're going to get rid of him. Unless they're really going to do something with him and send him to the main roster. Because I know he did appear in the main roster already. It's got to be something. Moving on. Let's talk about Gray versus Jordan. This was what? What was this? Was this, and this is the way they were making it look, because I know what it is, but this is what other people may see it as. You see Kendall Gray going against Kiana Jordan. Great wrestling. Was not bad. The story wasn't too bad. But seeing that Ren Sinclair was on crutches outside with a speed title, and she said to herself, I don't want to make it like Sol Ruka versus Zarya. And she says that's not going to happen, but exactly it did happen that way. Once you see Lola Vice getting attacked by Izzy Dane, and when you see the story of Izzy Dane, when she was the culling, and then she calls in Nico saying simply, told Nico to stay while Sean Spears left, which it makes me think that sooner or later Sean's going to be gone, or Nico's going to be gone. To be honest, I should take that back. I don't think they're going to get rid of Nico or Sean Spears. I still think they're going to get rid of Izzy Dane. That's the way it feels. It still feels like Izzy Dane is going to get rid of soon. I could be wrong. It just feels like it. I don't see the entire culling go. It could happen. But that's the way it feels. It's like they're saying they're going to break up the culling because Sean just never gets anything done right. And she's trying to tell Nico, I'm going to go after Izzy Dane. Izzy's going to go after Lola Vice, who's going to be watching the match. But it's like she's trying to tell him, get rid of him. That's what it feels like is going to happen. She's telling him, if I'm doing this, what are you doing? And it's like they're going to try and break up the culling. But then it feels like Izzy is not going to stay. If she's going to the main roster, I'm glad. I'm fine with that. But it does feel like this is not meant for Izzy to really succeed. This is, again, Izzy being used to get someone else over. Because I do not see Lola Vice losing. It's like they're giving Izzy a little bit more and a little bit more, but then it's like the noose is still around her neck and they can just grab her with that noose and just chuck her out the door. That's the way it feels. Because when it was all over, that Ren Sinclair hits the floor with her crutches, Kendall sees it, gets distracted, gets nailed, and then Kendall's mad at Lola because Lola was the one who was fighting, and then she gets nailed again by Izzy, because that's how she got in that situation in the first place, because Izzy Dane attacked her there, and she's holding the title over. I'm like, really? This is what we get? The person that already went through Tatum Paxley, who essentially is going to go through Lola Vice, and Tatum, along with who else went up against her? She went up against Jordan Grace. That was Izzy. She lost to her. It just feels like they're just using her to get other people over, and then she just stays in the same spot. That's the way it feels. Moving on. Let me give you like this. Do I care about Nolan Dar with Romeo? Don't know yet. It feels like there should be a tag team. Did I like Out the Mud segment where you can see, it wasn't Price. Was it Lima? No, I think it was Price and his little brother. And talking about how he lost his mother and that he was taking care of his little brother like basically he's acting like that's his son. He's raising him like his son, even though that's his little brother. I commend that. If it's real, I commend it. Now, everybody can do that. And I liked the segment. It wasn't a bad one. But here's the big question. Are they going to push them now? Are they going to win the tag belts? Because as far as I can tell, out of any of the teams that's still there, Hank and Tank, them, Vanity Project, the Culling, the only ones that make the best sense that could go to the main roster would be Out the Mud. But nothing yet. Out the Mud is not doing anything. And it makes me worried for them. This is just me, you guys, down below. Next. Tony D with Mason Rook. Did Mason make a good first impression on the mic? No. No. Now, of course, when they were chanting, he's big, I forgot what we're calling him, but they were making fun of him. But that he could still, even though he was chubby, he was mean, he's gonna still kick ass and stuff like that. I was all right with it. But the big question here is this. Do I care about Mason Rook? Nope, they got to give me a reason. They're still using his fame from outside. And yes, he signed his contract in the ring with the Stone. But does that mean anything? No. The fans then knew who he was. I didn't. And many people on NXT, many people who watch NXT, they're not going to know who he is. He's got to make himself mean something. As I said, you need to be relevant. You can't do your relevancy because of what you did outside, because you will end up just like Stephanie Fakir and Julia. So that's what they were doing. And then you see Ken Hendricks, who was from LFG, who is the current fiance of, well, he's a lucky bastard being with Maxine Dupree. But do I care about him? I've seen at least some of his work when he was in season 1. He has potential. He does. But it still counts on how they book him. Because using LFG stuff didn't really help a Tyra Steele, did it? She got her ass removed. And she's an Olympian. She was supposed to be important. And they let her ass go. So, seeing him does not mean much until they book him for the next couple of months and he survives beyond July. If he doesn't survive beyond July, there's no point in really caring until we really see it. That's the thing. I want to make this clear to everyone who's hearing me. This is the key here. If any of the people that have just been seen from Vanity Project, hell, Lockwood, or anyone else, Carver could be released. You could see so many people being released in the next couple of months. But after July, going into August, they usually do not release anybody anymore, unless it's something serious. But other than this, everything's up in the air when it comes to the main roster and excuse me, and NXT. So it's hard to get invested in these people. If you are invested, more power to you. I can't. I'm looking at what they're giving us. I'm looking at the storylines they're giving us. I'm looking at how they're perceiving from it. But I still have to take into consideration how long would they stay on the roster before they do more budget cuts. Because we're in that time period. We are. Let's now talk the first match of the night. My girl is getting screwed. That's the title I'm using. My girl is getting screwed. The first match of the night. you have Tatum Paxley and Lizzie Rain versus Zarya and Nikita Lyons. She's in my face. You see her in my face. This gorgeous piece of ass who legitimately has been on the roster for more than 2 years, easy up to 3. Counting, yes, she was out because she got injured. She came back. She has been doing one thing. And understand, when they mentioned that she's going for the Evolve title versus a Carmen Petrovich, who also has been on the roster around the same time as her. Does it actually matter? No, because I believe Carmen Petrovich is going to whoop her ass. Or someone's going to interfere and she's going to lose again. Because she already lost to Lizzie. She lost here again to Lizzie. And that was mainly due to the fact, and I believe I'm going to throw that in my face, that Zarya, who did not want anything to do with it, now I'm putting it in my face, she jumps off the ring skirt and left this girl hanging. And it's not her fault. She didn't ask for the match. She didn't. She didn't ask for it. It was Stone's responsibility to make the match, and he stuck them together. And guess what? The one who at one point looked sloppy, and I'm not going to lie that Nikita didn't look sloppy during that match. I think she knows what's going on. Look, let me give it to you like this. Zarya had to not get pinned. Clear. Tatum was not going to get pinned. Clear. They have so many other women on the roster. They could have used anybody. They used Nikita. And this isn't the first time this has happened. She's been used multiple times over the last year or so, and she's jobbed and jobbed and jobbed again. And she's had already a change in character, where she's now doing tarot cards and caring about the energy of the universe. And I'm going like, I'm going to give it like this. I don't usually say this. At one point, my wife, almost became a person who did Wiccan, which is modern day witchcraft stuff. Strange coming from someone who is from Jehovah's Witness. Well, her family, her mother was Jehovah's Witness, her older sister was Jehovah's Witness. She wasn't one, but she eventually became one. I think now she's Catholic again. No, not Catholic again. I think she's Catholic now. I think. But hearing Nikita talking like that and trying to act like someone who believes in that stuff and knowing that she wasn't really putting everything into it and she tries to make it sound good and it's a heavy watered down version of it, it's like, oh, fuck me. I'm making this clear. Lizzie Rain needed to win. No problem. And now that Tatum's decided to give her a shot at the title, fine. I'm not happy about that. I'd rather see him build up into it. But this is Tatum's story. This is the way she thinks. She wants to give people opportunity when she's in a mood. And now she's going to give it to Rain. And then you see Zarya in the wings right now. Not surprised. For the North American Championship. She is connected to that thing, to the hip. But honestly, seeing that Nikita Lyons is being treated like this, yes, let's make it clear. Is she a fucking sexy woman? Hell yeah, she is. She got a beautiful face, sexy piece of ass, sexy pair of tits, and she can talk well. And she can go in the ring. Hell, during that match, I think she broke her fingernail right off. I think I got a picture of it. She did the match, and her nail was just hanging off. She still did it. I'm like, everyone else has gone forward. And she's just stuck in jobber hell. Now, am I being biased because I love the woman? Hell yeah, I am to a certain extent. I never lied about having some biases. Yes, I do. But I'm being honest here. If I take away how I feel about her, as yes, a good-looking woman, what do we really have in the package of a Nikita Lyons? Does she have the look of a main eventer? She looks like a sexy piece of ass. That could be a main eventer if they push her. If. They'll probably use her sex appeal more than they will use her in the ring. Because that's happened multiple times before. Can she talk? Yes, she can. Can she wrestle? Yes, she actually can wrestle. Does she use more martial arts than her wrestling? No. She does her kicks once in a while. Fine. But should they be using her more in some other capacity? Yeah, but they won't. So again, for me personally, I hope she gets released. Because maybe TNA could use her as a knockout. AEW, they're going to probably use her more as a heater than anything else. Even though she can wrestle. They'll probably use her sex appeal way more than they'll use her as a heater. They'll probably pair her with somebody, which sucks, but that would probably be it. Now, mind you, they could use her in matches. They could, but they'll probably throw in RH. They're treating my girl like crap, man. They just are. They're treating her like garbage. And do I like it? No. But do I agree with it? No. Will they release her? Maybe. After what's going to happen with Petrovic, that might be her last match. They may finally release her. And I hope that's it, because who wants to just job to everyone? You worked on your style. You came back from injury. You've been there for more than a few years. You've done what they want and more, and still you're not getting anywhere. But it's just me. Peace.